sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Atlanta Falcons. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. A few moments ago, it was Desmond Trufant of the Falcons making their way out of the tunnel to the delight of this sold-out crowd as his guys get set to do battle with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Falcons team as they enter play. They come in with some fresh legs as they got the week off last week thanks to the early season bye.
And usually you hope your bye comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get fresh legs back, you take that time and you run with it.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Bucs, we're in October now, so everybody should be coming into form, shouldn't they?
They really should, and what you have now is a full routine established about what you want to get done and full focus on the season.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They're led out by a man raised in Alabama, went to Florida State. It's their quarterback, Jameis Winston.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets, and bottom line, how do they get a win?
Ready, back here, two.
There's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Zadarius Smith able to get him down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. From the shotgun, it's Winston. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Zadarius Smith in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
No, check, Patriot!
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He completes it to Julio Jones. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Gerald McCoy is always going to be linked with Ndamukong Suh. They came into the NFL in the same draft class. There was a lot of debate about who was going to be the better defensive tackle. They just do it 2 different ways. McCoy, more movement, more elusiveness. That allowed him to make the play there for a short gain. I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Escaping the pressure right. He may try and run for this. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still fourth down.
That was a good effort there, trying to do it on his own. But as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you. And if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front seven can get him down.
And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on fourth down.
Yeah, on 4th and inches, you've got to be quick with your decision-making when you're running the football. You've got to find the hole and go. And he does a nice job here picking up the first down with a few yards to spare.
Back to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Get it down on the play to the 37. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he stopped immediately there. Kendall Beckwith on the stop.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
They'll look to throw here. Steps away to his left. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, gets him 9 yards and a first.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. Meanwhile, we will not get another play as time will run out on this first quarter. 0-0 our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll set up a throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Jones. And down inside the 15 he goes. And 15 yards there on the catch and run. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. 12 more yards there and another first down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that'll be hauled in by the tight end. It's Hooper for the Falcon touchdown. Austin Hooper, his first touchdown on the year. And the Falcons are in for 6. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Jameis to throw it. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Deion Jones. Coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. They go play action. Winston airing this one out for Evans. And this throw will be intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. They'll look to throw here on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And an alley to run. And avoids the contact by sliding. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21.
But you've been around me a long time now. You know on 2nd and inches, I love it when teams are aggressive and take a shot, but we just saw the downside to being that aggressive, didn't we?
Now you've given up on a pretty likely first down if they had run the football, and they need to come up with something here on 3rd. But he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. Look at that nice little drive brewing right here.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Jake Ryan not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but
Still
all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes.
Now let's go.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Buying time to his left. Throw left side complete. That's Schwartz. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. They'll set up to throw. Dancing to his left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And this one is right through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So they've put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
Jameis Winston and company heading back onto the field now. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Now a second down throw for Winston. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
On third down, Winston. Open man has got one. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So that one will be accepted. Here's Brian Anger now as he'll punt it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Taking it about the 16.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
And that negates a pretty decent punt return.
And the goal is to gain a first down on a punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
Green 39! Green 39!
Back to throw now on first down. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. On first down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 12. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
And Jones has it over the middle. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. Final play of the half here, Winston. Throw right side one. So we are at halftime here in Atlanta with the Falcons out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll get started over at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Carson Wentz, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. From there, we head up to Kansas City. Check on the Chiefs at Arrowhead, and they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. Patrick Mahomes looking good, 2 touchdown passes. Finally, let's get to the desert. Check on the Cardinals at home in Glendale. And they trail in that one as it's the visiting 49ers who are out in front. Jimmy Garoppolo with 3 touchdown passes. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gotten and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Carl Al Nassib in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
And he'll take this one up to about the 23. It'll be a gain of about 5, but they're left with a third and still about 12 to go.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5. After the penalty, it's Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Winston from the gun on 3rd down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Black. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through, picking up the first. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
That one, the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
Ready, Black 22.
Now Jameis on 2nd down. Forced out to his left. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. A nice job of eluding the pressure there, scrambling for 11.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on 2nd down.
He's got Evans. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a 1st down there.
Are we really in the second half here? And this is the first time we've seen Jameis Winston connect with Mike Evans?
Yeah, you know that they missed that in the first half. Up until this point, they've really missed it, haven't they?
I think that's a big reason why they're down on the scoreboard right now.
And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber, what kind of disruption he can cause.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's Buccaneer football, but they've got work to do. They find themselves behind here to start the 4th quarter. The Bucs on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Working out of the gun, Winston. Drops it to Jones in the flat. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that's going to make it 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
This is taken at the 3. Oh, leaves him behind on the spin. And he'll take it past the 28-yard line. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he'll find his tight end, Seals Jones. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swing, slant, quick outs, things they consider safe.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
But they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another 1st down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively, you got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot.
They'll set up a throw. Looking downfield for Jones. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to...
And down he goes! They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Winston and the Bucs take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 46.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Winston. Evans has it left side. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. A first down throw for Winston. Flush to his right. Evades the tackler, and now some space. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down. Clock running. The Bucs try to go quickly and get set. Back to throw. A dump underneath to Jones. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and just like that, it's third down. He'll look to throw. This is caught. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Mike Evans, his second touchdown on the season. And the Buccaneers are an extra point away from tying up this football game. A very important extra point there, up and good. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. This fielded at the 2. A spin. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play, but if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. They'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave them with 2nd and a yard. Looking to throw. Looking deep for Julio. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones in the final minute. And the Falcons have broken our tie. Might be seeing that one on the highlight shows tonight. The home run ball here in the fourth quarter to take the lead.
There's nothing like being aggressive, preaching that to your team, and then following through, all the way through. Go ahead and throw one more up there. Why not?
Been a great game, and we are not done yet. That's fielded in the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll put it out to the 25. And look at Jameis Winston now as he gears up to lead this offense again. This is something we've seen many times over the course of his career. Can he pull off another fourth-quarter comeback?
And it's very strange, isn't it? Because when it's a player of this magnitude, even though the guys on defense have the lead and are sitting in the best spot, they're maybe the most nervous people in the stadium because they've seen this happen to too many people before, too many teams. They've got to find a way to shut him down.
Here we go again for the grizzled vet. They'll look to throw. Over the middle, he finds Godwin complete. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. Back to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ballgame. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on first and goal. He's back to throw. And this ball is caught. Final seconds there, a PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime.
Yes, sir, that touchdown puts them in striking distance. And let me tell you something, forget being conservative here. Go for it, go for 2.
Well, going for it on the road. Want to win it right now.
Want to win it right now, have the momentum, go ahead and get it done.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good, and we may very well be headed to overtime. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get to the 30-yard line before going out of bounds. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. So 4 quarters wasn't enough, and we are off to overtime. Don't change that dial. A little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help.
And this will be caught at the 30. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high fly.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Grady Jarrett coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle, and frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never brought the play-action fake.
And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down.
And there's another completion to the tight end, and let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to at least get them a lead here in overtime. And his kick here is good. And with that, they take the lead here 20-17. They're able to put 3 on the board here on the opening drive of OT, and now up to their defense to try and see if they can hold this one.
I like how you framed it up, because obviously this game is not over, right? They go down and kick a field goal, then we head to sudden death. But if the defense can hold, take the ball away, turn it over on downs, this game's over.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. Now a first throw here in overtime. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Detroit!
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Flushed out right. Finds a seam inside the 40. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. First down now, but that clock rolling. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 11 more on that one and another first down. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down. Clock running, and the Falcons moving with a sense of urgency. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And this will be caught. Touchdown. They needed overtime to get it done, but put this one in the win column. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted, but how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for Atlanta, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Washington